I'm Yafet Banks. My Twitter account is at True Yachty Banks, and I will also be the one providing the audio here because Murad didn't run a microphone because the library closed early on Fridays. So what I'm saying is sorry for the poor sound quality here. So we're recording with my laptop on Audacity, and it's the best we could do given the circumstances currently.
I'm Logan Kelly. I like social media.
Woo!
And I'm Adrian, and I go by Adrian Comic Hunter.
Okay. To get started, so a brief history on the 3D animation was just before 3D animation was introduced, a lot of stop motion was used in films. Up until the 1990s, films such as The Terminator, so the reason why it did not take off was because the process was very time-consuming and costly. Also, it was a little bit jittery at the time. It wasn't as smooth as animation. But I bet you if they used if the stop-motion animation was as good as it is now, it probably would have been really nice if you watched the film, The Missing Link.
Oh yeah, The Missing Link was. Have you seen The Missing Link?
No.
It was made by Leica, the same guys that make Coraline. And when I didn't see the movie, but I've seen clips of it, and you would have sworn that it was CGI. I'm not gonna play any audio from the video, but I think it's something meant to be clean.
Mm-hmm.
For those watching, you can look it up yourself. So this is mind blowing.
It is so beautifully done. I mean, how smooth the stop motion animation is. It just got no jitter.
There's just one wall right here. There's a specific scene I saw.
I think the ending sequence. I mean, you can look it up later, but pretty much they do this cool bit where the hands are just smoothly just moving across like a map, and it's just flipping pages around. It's so amazing. Yeah, so it's very cleanly done, but it's just the way how the hands move. It's just it's like watching a magic trick.
1 second, sorry for the dead air.
I wonder if the same animator did that sequence because there's a bunch of other hand animations that I've seen where it's sort of those animations that you see where characters just making food or something like that, but it's animated and it's so beautifully done.
What the hell? I think it's Coraline. Coraline's another great movie, but that's not the one we're looking for. I don't know why. I clicked on this week, I've got Coraline. But I guess it's not hard to see because the lights are on.
I mean, people who are listening to this now.
Yeah,
so we put up a short clip of from the Missing Link that we're kind of watching over. But yeah, I'll just continue with.
So for those new to the series, whenever there's dead air, it's usually because we're watching videos.
So the history of 3D animation can be tracked back to the early days of computer graphics in the 1950s. However, it wasn't until the 1970s that 3D animation began to take shape as a distinct art form. One of the earliest examples of 3D animation was in a film called A Computer Animated Hand, created by Ed Catmull and Fred Parker.
He was one of the founders of Pixar. Ed Catmull. I think I might be mistaken.
No, but at least in the documentary that I came across, did label him as the founder of 3D animation or something like that, or 3D computer graphics or something. Yeah. But so his piece was featured in a simple 3D model of a human hand that was animated using a technique called keyframe animation. Keyframe animation involves creating a series of key poses for the model and then interpolates the frames in between. This technique is still used in 3D animation today.
It's used in just animation, period.
Yes. So in one example, in the Tron movie, do you want to tell a story about it or just that?
The way so in Tron, in the 1982 film with Jeff Bridges and Cindy Morgan, the late Cindy Morgan, it was famous for its blending of CGI and live action. So, for example, the famous light cycle scene, they would build the models out of primitives, which are like basic shapes that actually all 3D software nowadays comes with. But it's like cubes, blocks, pyramids, spheres, and they would make the models out of the shapes, and they would move them around by manipulating their X, Y, Z coordinates, as well as their yaw, pitch, and roll. So each model had to have 6 numbers describing where it is and what its position was in space. And the software, at the time, they could only render 1 frame of film. So, and the only way they could see it move was if they rendered each frame onto film, and then had the film developed, which takes depending on what, like the Super 8 film I had developed, it took like a couple of months, so I can't imagine how long it took for people in 1982. But only then, after it was developed and projected, could they see their animations. So, imagine in Blender for every frame of animation, you had to make a completely new file. That's how much of a pain it was. So, but they pulled it off, and if you've seen the movie, it is quite spectacular.
Yeah, definitely. Those animators back then, they were made of something different. That at least the patience that they were willing to go through just to produce these films.
If you can find the documentary of how they did it on YouTube, and also the YouTube channel Corridor Crew also made a couple of videos covering how the CGI of Tron was made.
Yeah. So in our next example, the making of a 3D animation, the 1989 film The Abyss, was a groundbreaking achievement in visual effects. The film, directed by James Cameron, featured extensive use of computer-generated imagery, CGI, to create realistic underwater environments and creatures. The visual effects team, led by Dennis Muren. Okay.
Yeah, Dennis Muren.
Used a variety of techniques to create the film's 3D animation. One technique was motion capture, which involved using actors wearing special suits that tracked their movements. This data was then used to create 3D models of the characters and creatures. Another technique that was used was procedural animation, which involved using computer code to create realistic simulations of natural phenomena.
If I remember correctly, the crowning achievement of the Abyss's 3D CGI was the water creature, and they would animate they would have sort of, you can call it a skeleton, just a line that they could just move around, and they would put a cone over it, a 3D cone, and that would pretty much I think they called it a hot dog, but it basically looked like a balloon that moved around in space. And to simulate the water, they would take sine waves and they would render them in a circle, and they would just move them all at different frequencies to simulate the ripple effect. And that's how they were able to make the water creature look more watery. But the only problem was at the time, I think they could only render solid shapes. So to create the translucency effects, it required the creation of photo editing software, and the software that they created specifically for the movie, we would know later on as Photoshop. That's right. Photoshop was created specifically for The Abyss. So there's a bit of trivia for you.
Nice. So in our next example was a particular scene in The Great Mouse Detective made by Disney. So the 3D clock terror scene sequence in the 1986 film The Great Mouse Detective are notable for their innovative use of computer-generated imagery and their contributions to the film's overall atmosphere and storytelling. The clock terror sequence were among the first initial CGI bearing used by Disney animated film. The actors used a combination of traditional hand-drawn animation and CGI to create visually stunning immersive experience. So pretty much they printed out each sequence of the 3D animation and kind of traced over it and then brought that into the film in a way.
So yeah, they would create wireframes and trace over the wireframes. I think if John Lasseter did that in 1983, I don't think he would have been fired because I don't know how much money it would have cost. So did the big bucks come in when rendering or just animating the wireframes? I don't know. I wasn't around back then.
I would assume it's just more time, more money, because I mean it takes a while to do like 3D sculpt something. That's why it's like it seems to be such like a high in demand job because you need so many people to sculpt for like hours upon hours. But there are like I mean I've seen some people do it rather fast. Like I mean there's like YouTube tutorials of people making like a character in like 5 minutes or something. I mean little techniques have made the process a lot faster to just build models, like simple models. But yeah. Okay. So yeah, since you brought up the Pixar, so Pixar Animation Studio, known for its groundbreaking work on computer animated films, has a rich history using 3D animation to bring imaginative stories to life. The studio's early experience with 3D animation can be tracked back to the 1970s when it had part of the Lucas Computer Graphics division. One of Pixar's earliest 3D animated projects was the Adventures of, how'd you pronounce it?
It's the Adventures of Andre and Wally B.
Andre and Wally B. The short film, released in 1984, featured simple but charming 3D characters, any significant milestone in the development of Pixar animation technology. In 1986, Pixar became the independent company and continued to push the boundaries of 3D animation. The studio's first feature-length film, Toy Story, released in 1995, was a critical and commercial success, as it considered one of the most influential animated films of all time. Toy Story featured groundbreaking 3D animation that brought the film's characters and world to life in a way that had never been seen before. Building on the success of Toy Story, Pixar continued to produce critically acclaimed 3D animated films, including A Bug's Life, Toy Story 2, Monsters, Inc. These films showcase Pixar's mastery of 3D animation, storytelling, and helped to establish the studio as a leader in the field of animation.
And it helps that like with each film they like kept like advancing their own software.
Mm-hmm.
Like for Toy Story, if you ever noticed their hair, you'll never see like moving hair. It's either like cut short or in a ponytail because they couldn't render hair yet.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time Monsters Inc. came around, they were able to render like all like. It was like 5,000 strands of hair on Sully, and they had to like create specialized software in order to render all those strands. So, like, insane.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen like in the latest like Toy Story. What are they on? 4, 5?
The latest is 4, and I keep hearing talks of the 5th one, which makes me angry.
Yeah, apparently the story on that is like they want to bring Andy back. Or he wants to go on a mission to reclaim his toys or something.
They are running out of ideas. They are running.
Pixar?
Yeah, Pixar.
Well, that's
yeah.
And I mean, all the things that they come up with that are original are very bland, and everyone knows that Pixar is going extremely down in terms of it. But they're constantly getting better with their animation.
I mean, the last movie I enjoyed that they made was like Coco.
Like, at least like till 2017.
The most recent film I remember enjoying from Pixar was Luca. Actually, I actually enjoyed. I think I mentioned it before, but I actually liked Luca a lot.
That might have been 2018 or
It was pretty
Yeah.
decent-ish.
And
Fine.
I hear Elemental is like it like slowly like it was like a sleeper hit rather it wasn't like like
It was a bit like Strange World, where it didn't really have a very signature story to it. It was kind of like a typical bland like story. It didn't really have like
it didn't have it didn't have an interesting enough concept to reel people in.
It was pretty standard.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to judge the movie. I haven't seen it because once again, nothing really pushed me to see it.
I mean, I've watched it. I think it's all right. I mean, okay. So the story is it's almost got like a Romeo and Juliet kind of going on. It's got like an allegory for racism. Although some of the elements don't exactly make sense, because why is there like a cloud element when clouds are just made of water? So like when one of the characters evaporates, he doesn't become a cloud. He just becomes a part of the wall or something like that. It falls into the story.
I mean, there's condensation, but I don't know. Once again, I haven't seen the movie.
Yes, they call itself elemental, but they're not the elements that you're kind of
They were
used
just calling themselves that to appeal to that Romeo and Juliet.
But then again,
how really doing it to be like that.
With like the air, would that be appealing to quote unquote look at because you can't see air? Maybe if I were tasked with having air be a character, maybe I could have them be like a race of invisible pranksters. I mean, that's just off the top of my head right there.
Even so, the 3D animation, watch the trailer of Elemental and Strange World, again, it is very beautiful. It's very, much better than what we see of animation from 2001 to 2002.
Also, I just thought about this. Fire needs air or oxygen to exist.
Yes.
So if air is like its own separate entity in that universe, how does fire live?
Because trees produce the air.
So I know that thinking of how the worlds work in Pixar isn't recommended because it goes back to the whole Toy Story being how does Buzz know that how does Buzz stand still when Andy's around if he doesn't know he's a toy?
Yeah, he just instinctively does that.
Or why does he turn to a toy if he doesn't think he's a toy?
Yeah. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, it does kind of break the immersion. He knows that he's a toy.
Right. He thinks he's a space ranger.
Yeah.
I've heard theories that says it's a survival instinct that all toys have, but I don't know. Although, if there's one thing I'll commend Toy Story 4 for, I like the concept behind Forky, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing the movie had going for it. Because I think it's good world building. It's just everything else I didn't really care for.
Okay. So today, 3D animation can be used in a wide variety of applications, including film, television, video games, advertising, architecture, medicine, engineering. 3D animation has become an essential tool for creating realistic and engaging visuals in a variety of fields. So if you want to pursue a career in animation, here's maybe timestamp this part for yourself. So, a quick section for those who want to pursue a career in 3D animation. These positions can also be applied for 2D animation as well. There are a number of entry-level positions that can provide valuable experience and help build a strong portfolio. Here are some common entry-level positions in animation. So you have your animation intern. Work under the guidance of an experienced animator to learn the basics of animation and gain hands-on experience. Tasks may include creating simple animations, assisting with character design, or working on storyboards. But this does require you to be in maybe a 4-year institution, most likely.
Yeah, because I know Disney still uses traditional 2D animators to like act as a reference for like the 3D stuff. So like for films like Encanto, there exists like two traditionally animated 2D tests of the various characters, which kind of pisses me off because that shows that they still have the talent, they just don't use it. Yeah.
Like, I'm glad they still use Gordon. What's the guy's name? The one who did the genie.
Oh, not Robin Williams. The animator. I know this. Eric Goldberg.
Goldberg, yes, Eric Goldberg, who also wrote the book on animation.
The Illusion of Life?
Or? No, that was Richard Williams. He wrote like his own version of like animating. That's also. It's a shorter book.
Oh no, the version I'm thinking of is much longer, and now that I just remembered, is written by 2 of the 9 old men.
But yeah, okay, so a junior animator responsible for animating characters, props, or backgrounds under the supervision of the senior animator may work on short films, TV shows, or video games. There's also a 2D animator option, specializing in creating 2D styles with 3D software animation for TV shows, movies, or video games. Use software such as Adobe Animate or Toon Boom Harmony to create animations. Examples, of this type of style is like All of the Other Reindeer, or the game Parappa the Rappa. So that's sort of like 2D style, even though it's made with 3D characters.
And with Parappa the Rappa, I shouldn't say that's like flash animation, because they are moving like 2D characters in a 3D space in that game. But like it's like they have like a bunch of preset facial animations.
Oh yeah.
For like their eyes and their mouths. And I'm not trying to like dunk on the game. The game is awesome. I have all 3 Parappa games. So there's Parappa the Rappa 2, and Gemalame, which is like a spin-off. Yeah. Rock on Rodney Greenblatt.
Like, I'm glad you mentioned that, because like it's definitely like a style of like taking 3D characters. You don't give them a face, but you reanimate the face outside the program, and then you import it in there and just can animate it on top of that body.
Isn't that kind of what they did with Spider-Verse? Or like, so they like animate like the mouths and eyes and noses in 3D, but they like added like lines and stuff after the fact.
Yes. To
like give it that comic book style.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would say Penny Parker probably is the best example, who probably has like the anime type of look.
So yeah, was Penny Parker 2D animated in? It was kind of hard to tell.
Like, all the characters were 3D animated, but they were given like a 2D style. Like
even Peter Porker.
Yeah.
Spider-Ham.
Oh yes.
I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something, but I forgot what it was. We were talking about Parappa the Rappa before. I lost it. Okay.
That's fine. Okay.
Gotta go.
What? You gotta go?
Alright.
Unbelievable.
Jeez, we keep losing members here.
No, don't leave us.
Sorry.
No.
I wasn't contributing anything anyway.
You can contribute a little bit here and there, Okay. Alright, I'll move on. So, obviously, see you later.
And then there was 3.
Yes. Alright. So, other positions, 3D animator, create 3D animations with, maybe I should skip that one. So, you got your character animator, focusing on animating characters for TV shows, movies, video games. Responsible for creating believable and expressive characters that bring the story to life. You have your visual effects animator, creates visual effects. I guess that one's sort of explanatory, just like, okay. So other options, you have your YouTube animator. So create your own animations for YouTube, or create your own web series. So there are various genres that you could start to make. Either like make your own story. You could do a story time animations. Follow a memes that come out every week. Do a film review. Like I know the channel Hot Diggity Demon.
Yeah. That's the. He was what I was trying to think of earlier. I just put. I knew the characters like, but I couldn't remember the name of the channel. That's why I was struggling. And I guess that leads into indie filmmakers because based off the description you have on your little script here, I think the only difference being where you submit the films. One is online and the other is in the film festivals.
Yeah.
There's also just to bring it back to 3D animation. There's also layout animators as well. So, I saw a documentary on the making of the game Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. I think it was one of the 3D Prince of Persia games where it showed how they made the cutscenes and layouts. They would just take the 3D models and not animate them at all, or by that they wouldn't animate their arms. It would just be them be T-posing. They would move the models throughout the scenes and just the goal was just to have the blocking set in. So that's also a role. It's actually really funny looking if you look at the test footage. It's just people just moving around like this, T-posing.
So other jobs you got your web developer, animator. Not too many people ever talk about this because definitely anybody who needs to make a website could always use a little animation. It's going to add some pizzazz to their websites. A lot of the websites nowadays are just so corporate now. Everything's just so bland. When's the last time you saw a website that actually made you feel wow, this is awesome?
You guys remember that website? I forget what it was called, but it was a series of flash games that was laid out like a board game. I think one of the games was Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but for the longest time it was one of the games wouldn't work, and it said to be completed at a later date, even though it never got completed.
No, I don't remember that. But I remember back when maybe 4Kids or Fox Kids had their own website, and I just remember that anytime you click on something, little characters move or something, it would be a cool pop animation.
I remember back around the time the Ghostbusters 2008 game came out, they had a website where you can interact with the city of New York, and in a case, and if you can hover the mouse around certain buildings and ghosts would pop out, and occasionally a little Slimer would come across the screen. If you clicked on it, the beam would shoot at it. It's cool. I don't think the website even exists anymore. Which is sad because I love going on that website.
I just remembered. I don't know if you guys have ordered from McDonald's recently using the app, but now when you go through the drive-thru, they now do a little game where you can earn some points, where you have to click on the hamburger and catch him before he grabs your burger.
Oh, speaking of McDonald's, what's the deal with the manga panels that they have on the bags now? Have you noticed that?
The what?
So for the last week or two, whenever I went to McDonald's, on the bag they'd have little mangas.
Actual manga and anime, that sort of thing.
Only it was about McDonald's workers and stuff like that, and all the text. There's Japanese texts all over the bag. It was. Is that a limited time thing? It have to.
I haven't seen it yet, and I just ordered McDonald's 2 days ago.
Really?
Unless it's is it just in the really big bags or something, or do I just order? I'm not getting big enough bags. I just get small stuff the 2 for $4 type of deal. That they
I just got the quarter pounder with a drink, and that's all I would get. I'm sure if you look it up on the internet, you'll be able to find it. Yeah, it's oh my gosh, it's the special sauce or something like that. I don't know if that was a subtle reference to the whole Szechuan.
It's not the upside down McDonald's thing that's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
The McDonald's or what?
Yeah, that's it. Except they're not. Only this is in color. Oh yeah, this is what I was talking about. Here.
Oh.
Yeah, on the side of the bag, it's like manga panels.
Oh, that's great.
I think you flipped it. Your black flipped it.
Okay. Yeah, I just moved it down. I see the full version. Okay, this is crazy. So yeah, McDonald's is adding little manga on like the sides of their bag or something. Kind of interesting. That's the coolest thing that they've done so far. It's like feels very trending. They're like, that's good. They reinvent themselves.
I mean, I like the artwork is cool. I just think it's kind of cringy.
Like what about when Wendy's? Was it Wendy's? What? I know somebody on like their social media was using anime to kind of promote their food.
Taco Bell? Yeah, the nacho fries. They had a whole anime about it.
Oh, that was them? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was Wendy's for the longest time or something.
Oh, no, it was Taco Bell.
Yeah. But Wendy's did have like I think they still have their sassy phase, and then everybody was just drawing fan art of her.
Twitter?
Yeah.
The same fate happened to the Esurance girl. I think, was it Esurance that they had the animated lady?
Esurance? No, I know what happened to the Samsung. They made like...
No. I'm talking, like, this is like back in like the early 2010s, or even the late 2000s, the Esurance company has started doing a series of commercials with it.
It's not Flow?
No. That's Progressive. I'll pull it up. More dead air.
Watching commercials about sassy spokespeople.
Hold on. Well, I was just gonna pull up an image, but
They're sassy.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh. Yeah, So for context, it's that pink-haired girl that was a spy and selling insurance. If anybody remembers that.
I think I remember reading somewhere that like the origin of that character came through smut art. But take that with a grain of salt. If I'm going off memory here. But yeah, that was like the late 2000s.
Okay, so other jobs, social media marketing, create animated videos for social media. Like, it definitely should be more talked about. Not a lot of people seem to think of that as a job. Most people who want to get into animation just think like, oh, I need to work in TV animation or in films or something like that. Nobody ever talks about starting small and doing like small marketing.
I think Hayao Miyazaki can tell you TV animation is the devil. You do not want to do TV animation. It is a high stress situation, according to him, and I can see that definitely. Like he hates TV animation. That's why he prefers doing movies. But of course, like he had to start like back in the 70s. He had to start somewhere, and where he started was television.
I mean, things have sort of changed since, like, I guess, standard TV, since, like, I would say, Amazon, Amazon Prime is sort of, like, rather flexible they sort of do, like, their own way of doing their version of TV. Like, for instance, like, they can have a show that only has, like, 8 episodes for a season. Like in the recent Has Been Hotel.
It's on Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
Oh.
Amazon Prime, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 3D animation is definitely taking off in the indie scene with Pomni.
Digital Circus, yes.
I don't know why it took me forever to remember that, but yeah, I think it's definitely gotten to the point where indie guys can create work that's like on par with like television and movies. So yeah, so that's a plus.
So our final one for for job option is the indie filmmaker animator. You know, create your own short animations and submit it to local film festivals or internationally. Like pretty much, it's all available on. It's not Film Hut. What was that other site?
Film Highway.
Film Highway?
Or something like that. My film teacher talked about it yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Where it like I think it tells you like what festivals are either in the area or depending on where you are. Like there's a Maryland Film Festival coming up soon, and then there's standard stuff like Cannes, the Cade Film Festival.
Oh. Film Highway or I looked it up and it says Film Freeway.
Film Freeway, okay.
Okay. So in our last part, we'll be talking about just the animation portfolio, what you should think about putting into it. What is important before getting into these positions is to sharpen your skills and perfect your craft. So you will need to create a portfolio of samples of your work. An animator's portfolio is a collection of their best work, showcasing their skills, their creativity, and technical abilities. It's essential for aspiring animators to looking to break into the industry or freelance their services. Create a 1 to 2 minute reel showcasing your best animations, including a variety of styles, techniques, and subjects, ensuring the reel is well edited, engaging, and reflects your unique artistic vision. Showcase a variety of animations, including 2D, 3D, stop motion, and motion graphics, including animations of characters, objects, and environments to demonstrate your range of skills. Show that you have an understanding of the 12 principles of animation. Make sure that you include your contact information, examples like email address, website, social media links, prominently in the portfolio video. This allows potential employees and clients to easily reach out to you for opportunities, understanding the purpose of the portfolio is to show your skills and try to pitch yourself. Okay, so last up is group questions. So what was your first 3D animated film that you ever saw?
Yeah, that's stretching it back. But I can tell you the first one I saw in theaters, Finding Nemo. I think that was the first movie I saw in theaters, period. But in terms of just the first 3D movie, I mean, like I was born when Toy Story 2 came out, so it was around since I was alive, so I can't really pin down the first one I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't think any of us can remember something like that. Unless you can.
I kind of think that probably some anime that I was watching way back then was using some form of 3D animation, but I can't remember the name of it. I would say Toy Story might be one of the earliest. I'm sure. I remember Cubics. I think that was an early form of 3D animation. You guys ever seen it?
No. You mentioned anime, but what's that spy anime called? Goglo?
Oh, Go-Go Gadget?
No, that's Inspector Gadget. I'm talking about Golgo 13. Yeah, that's it. I think one of the movies had a 3D helicopter sequence. Was it that by chance?
I never watched it, so I wouldn't know. But that's sure.
We
can consider it that.
I was trying, like you said, you watched an anime with 3D in it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm guessing I'll take that as a no then.
I'm sure there were tons of like an intro that probably did something with 3D, maybe have a spinning star like it did in Kirby or something.
I think the best I can do in terms of just list off the top of my head the earliest stuff I can think of. So Jimmy Neutron, Finding Nemo. We did have Toy Story 1 and 2 on VHS. So, and then that came with bit shorts like Knick Knack and Toy, and Monsters Inc. There was just one Nickelodeon Nick Jr. cartoon where all the characters yellow. I forget, and they were made of.
Was it Roly Poly Oly?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, the robots. Yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah, that's I was in daycare when that show came out. I hardly remember an episode. Like I can only like envision like frames. That's how bad it. That's how far gone I am with that show.
They had like an uncle who was pretty much Elvis.
I remember there's a spider show too.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was I think it's based off a book.
I just know like one of the characters has like a handsome Squidward face.
Yeah. Oh, he's the villain. He's white.
Yeah. And then this is like 2005, maybe earlier. But there's that Halloween special that would play on Cartoon Network every Halloween.
Oh, Scary Godmother?
Yeah.
Oh, is it really that old? Oh my god. I don't know if it's really that old, but yeah.
Hold on.
It's been on for like ever.
Let me look it up. I didn't know that was based off a book too. 2003. It came out in 2003.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it's really been that long. Shoot. Man, I hate it when they stop showing that. Like Cartoon Network pretty much stopped doing like the whole Halloween bit altogether.
Dude, remember the bumpers that would play between cartoons where it showed the world and all the Cartoon Network characters would interact with each other?
Oh yeah.
I miss that.
Mm-hmm.
That needs to make a comeback like immediately. And then Nicktoons did something similar where they shot like live action footage of like people with like mascots of the characters like SpongeBob, Patrick. And they would like talk to each other and like get like vending machines and stuff. I thought that was cool, but I didn't think it was as cool as what Cartoon Network did. And they started using those Cartoon Network after that. They started using those weird bowling pin animations.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's so low effort, but at least they were trying for something.
Hey, remember when Cartoon Network did live action shows? Remember Dude?
I try not to. It's like cultural appropriation. So like you're like taking advantage of talented animators by making like an incredible show.
I remember Dude, What Would Happen? Was that like their version of either Jackass or?
No, it was like, what would happen if we did Limbo and Quicksand? Or what would happen if we did musical chairs, but we set the chairs on fire? Like,
it sounds like something they would do in Jackass, but
it's Jackass, it's like a bootleg version of Jackass because it wasn't as.
The only live action show that I like somewhat enjoyed from Cartoon Network was Hole in the Wall.
That was a game show. Wait, you remember that?
It sounds familiar, but I don't think I ever watched it.
So it was adaptation of a Japanese show where like you would.
It's a pretty easy premise, basically just like a frame comes through.
Like a wall would come. And it was going to knock you into.
Oh yes, that's okay.
And you would have to contort your body into the shape of the hole in order.
That's what that was. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that.
And then there's Out of Jimmy's Head, which I think is lost media now.
I don't remember that.
I know what that. Okay. So that was the boy who got the brain of a famous animator, and then now all of a sudden he sort of sees the characters to life. But he's the only one who sees them.
You've definitely seen it. You probably just this show.
I've seen like a tiny bit of it.
At the moment I believe it's lost media now.
That was on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, definitely during the same time when they started adding live action.
Turns out that failed. But then there would have been, no point of calling it Cartoon Network anymore.
I mean, I can appreciate the effort of combining live action and cartoons. It might be a little bit cheaper than just having to, having to do the background and everything else.
I mean, I understand it when they do it on Nickelodeon or when they do it on Disney. Like, that makes
Nickelodeon, they never really advertised themselves as a strictly cartoon channel. They're a kids channel, and kids channel can cover like a multitude of mediums. Where as Cartoon Network, they from the beginning they advertised themselves as the home for cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with Disney. Like Disney's multimedia, so you expect the Disney Channel to have like a mix between the two, even though it was definitely lopsided with live action shows.
Well, it's never been like ever since the '90s they had that.
Yeah, but but
it's part of the
but the 2000s they had like Kim Possible and Jake Long in it. Wait, was Jake Long Disney Channel or was that Fox? American Dragon.
No, I remember. Okay, I remember it first being on Fox, or no, it was Kids WB, and then when they went to Disney, they did the whole change their character designs, and then it was just in like a new style.
Oh,
well, the thing they call it Disney XD.
Mm-hmm.
They don't call it Disney Channel.
Yeah, whatever. So speaking of stuff moving channels, Doug, one of the original Nicktoons, started moved to Disney.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, you didn't know that?
Like recently?
No. This like during like its original run.
Oh, yeah. A couple shows did that. It just like kind of jumped from one network to another, and just I don't know if they even continued to make episodes or did they.
So I think they made a fair few episodes, ultimately concluding with Doug's first movie. I think that was the swan song of the series. Kind of like what SpongeBob the movie was meant to be, but cancel the show.
And SpongeBob?
Yeah, cancel SpongeBob. It's been on too long.
Their Super Bowl debut?
I don't care if they did that. They're too. I'm of the syndrome mindset. It's like too late. In XYZ years, too late. They should have done it when they promised it. I'll never forget that night.
They replaced that with Travis Scott.
Oh yeah. I remember during the when they reanimated the Band Geeks episode during the segment where Squidward was like, okay, I know tensions are high, and it's like SpongeBob fans versus the NFL.
Nickelodeon's it feels like forever since Nickelodeon's actually put out the movie, except for the recent TMNT. When I saw that it was their logo, I was like, what? They still making movies?
I mean, I think that's the only thing you really can do right now, right? I mean, they can obviously make stuff for like Paramount, but like, I hear like Paramount's like on the verge of being bought now by somebody else. I'm not sure who.
There's been discussions, but then they kind of pulled out. But yeah, there's definitely going to be like a monopoly going on, just like all the companies are just going to be under one roof, like cable used to be.
I mean,
this was kind of like that.
I mean, you can't be a true monopoly. That's illegal. So you get like the Vanderbilt situation.
Yeah, I guess the government does say like you can't monopolize everything, but I don't know if it's like different for streaming.
Now, question. I'm asking the wrong people here, but what if like you create something like something everybody needs, and you're the only one, but like nobody like. You have like no competitors, like nobody decides to like compete with you.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't break you up then, right?
No, not in the beginning, because it's kind of like like you're the only doctor in town. You can price whatever you want, and so
I think the rule is you can't like stop other people from like starting their own business.
Yes, kind of. That's kind of interesting how like kind of trademark works, or like you see all these smartphones, but a lot of smartphones kind of act similar, but they change different. Like for instance, like I noticed, like if you have an Apple phone compared to a Samsung phone, that they make like the back button, they switch it instead of on the left side, it's instead on the right side or something like that, depending on the phone that you have. Like in my earlier phone, like okay, so so say you get your I don't know you get your three buttons down here or
Yeah.
so which side is the one that you if you need to do a backspace to go out?
Mine's on the.
Yours is on the right.
So
okay, mine's on the left.
I have Android, so
I have Android.
my back button's on the right.
Okay, mine's on the left.
You have an iPhone?
No, this is Motorola.
Oh, that.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know if like if they had to do that or just like these little changes to make the phone kind of original-ish, or they have.
I don't think it goes that deep. I think Android, in terms of like their software, is like distinct enough that like they could like pass off of their own and not do that many changes.
Like, and the thing with songs, where like you can use certain notes of the song, but like if it's too similar to another song, but like there's only so many ways that you can use different chords in a certain sequence.
So you guys hear about I Want a New Drug and Ghostbusters?
No, that's
so when Ghostbusters came out and they had the song Huey Lewis.
Oh, you mean the song Copyright Lawsuit?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But have you heard the song itself?
Mm-hmm. I think so once, yeah.
All right, so.
See the connection.
All right, so Marat, in the future, when you're editing this, you're gonna want to turn this part down because, you know how YouTube is with especially with music. So, but for those listening, the song is "I Want a New Drug" by Huey Lewis and the News.
I guess I could ask like the next question, like what was your favorite 3D animated film?
I have the.
Oh, you have it up? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm assuming you guys know what the Ghostbusters song sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Like the chords kind of sound similar. Also, this is not a microphone. This is a light.
What?
This is a light.
What? No, oh my god. Oh god, I'm an idiot.
Oh, Murad.
Look at that. Oh my god. How did I see that? It looks like a freaking microphone.
Wait, so can you turn it on? How do you turn it on?
Oh.
Wow.
All right. So once again, we had a little bit of a screw up because we couldn't rent the microphone that we usually use, and so we thought what was on the desk was like a miniature microphone. Turns out it was a lamp. So that explains why we couldn't get any signal on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was kind of a dumb moment. So what was the question you were asking for?
Yeah, it was what was your favorite 3D animated film?
Early 3D animation?
Any
3D animation?
I guess we could just make it any 3D animated film. It doesn't have to be early. Because the first question was like, what was your first 3D animated film?
That's a tough one.
Me, I would say at the moment, again, it changes every now and then. But we always eat Coco.
This is so tough.
Or Wally.
The one that like reaches me the most is, and the one I have like the most nostalgia for, is Finding Nemo. And that's like, but like I said, I think my favorite Pixar movie would either have to be Ratatouille or Luca, with a heavy lean on Luca. But in terms of 3D movies, period, however, no, I think it would be those movies.
In terms of its animation?
Luca or Ratatouille? Well, for both cases, I like it. I like their animation and its storytelling. With I think Ratatouille speaks to me as an artist, even though it's about cooking. But there's a lot of like principles of art that I think goes into how Remy describes it, and definitely the drive is similar to artists. And then I just like the atmosphere of Luca, and it's very Studio Ghibli-esque, where like if you don't notice like movies like Totoro or Kiki's Delivery Service, where the movie is mainly just about like they're just character studies. Like it's about like it doesn't really have a plot. It's just a couple of characters living out their lives until something climactic happens in the last quarter of the movie.
Sorry.
I'm pretty much done.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I want to add to the Ratatouille because I think it's also my favorite film. Because I feel like there's not a lot of animation that just have a character just kind of react to what they're doing, just enjoy them doing something. Like the whole sequence when Remy's cooking, he's just like he's smelling stuff, he's tasting it. It's just like I just appreciate stuff like that because it just feels more human, even though it's a rat cooking.
Did you see the meme where they pointed out how like when Remy went past Linguini's improvised dish, he like puked, like had a whole bag of puke, and then like someone pointed out, wow, that means that Linguini's cooking was so bad that it caused a rat to puke, which is something that rats are physically incapable of doing.
Well, it is Remy.
Yeah, that's why like
he won't eat like the typical food that rats eat.
Yeah, that's why like rats, like if you ever notice, like they have like sniff out the stuff before they eat it because they can't puke it up. They get those like poisonous or something. So yeah, bonus fact: rats can't puke.
I'd never do that. Which 3D animated character do you think is the most iconic?
Woody. Like I just off the top of my head, Woody. He's like the Mario of 3D animation. Because like when people think of 3D animation, they think of Pixar. When they think of Pixar, they think of Woody. So it's just a natural progression of things.
Well, I mean, I would say like the lamp.
Oh yeah, the Pixar lamp.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It doesn't always have to be a character from an actual.
Well, if not the lamp, then the Pixar ball.
Or the ball.
Yeah.
The ball or the lamp.
But you did say character, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
character.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
I would also sometimes maybe say Wally. I think they get pretty cool characters. It's like in cute format.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but is he iconic though?
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay, well.
I mean, we could just say that he has a really good design that's recognizable. You can find him anywhere. I really like he's not exactly iconic as well, you know. The character design for Syndrome, I just like his hair. He's got a Jimmy Neutron hair.
Yeah. I'm just based off what I've like gathered from like the general public on the totem pole of like recognizability. I think like either Woody or Buzz Lightyear sits on the top.
Yeah. In
terms of recognizability for Pixar.
It was the first.
Yeah. And well, I mean, they knocked it out of the park the first time, so.
Like definitely I would say 2D characters that have now been remodeled into 3D characters. Like for instance, the recent Toei Animation logo, which is like a cat character with like a musketeer-like look.
So it's Puss in Boots. So like back in like the '60s, they did a Puss in Boots movie, and that became the icon for their company.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, I think Miyazaki worked on that movie as well.
Crap, I can't believe I didn't mention that.
What?
Shrek.
Oh yeah! Oh my God, Shrek!
I can't believe I forgot. It's because we've been talking about Disney this whole time.
Oh yeah, so
we forgot that there are other animations.
Yeah, I think Shrek is definitely on the equal, equal in terms of recognizability, like with Pixar. Like if I had to rank like Shrek and like Woody and Buzz, I think they're like equal levels.
Well, I think I consider Woody like more of like the popular one in terms of like just like mass medium popularity. But when I think of like memes and icons,
No.
That sort of stuff.
That's no discussion. Shrek has memes down like that.
That movie that literally pioneered a culture. A culture that we all live by.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Yeah.
And the thing, Mike Myers came up with a Shrek voice because his mother would read him bedtime stories in a Scottish accent. That's how the Shrek voice originated.
Well, he wasn't even the first pick. It was going to be Chris Farley.
Yeah, then he died prematurely or something.
Oh, yeah. Don't do drugs, kids.
Here at Towson University Animation Industry Studios, we do not condone drugs. We do not condone drug taking.
Or at the very least, illegal narcotics.
Heard it here, folks.
Depending on the state. Speaking of like internationality, our multimedia studio, our radio station has audiences like in Europe.
Really?
Yeah, like there's like people in like Eurasia watching us.
Really? We're getting that far? That the radio station here at Towson University, X something, STR.
XLR?
Yeah, apparently people from overseas are listening to us, so that's weird. So I'm not sure if that's the case with us, but that's kind of funny.
I never took the time to actually check to see what's the demographics of like where everyone is watching it on YouTube.
The majority of our audience is in Ukraine.
It's possible.
Or in Siberia, possibly.
Some crap then.
Like it's all from Australia. Just somehow you just reached that market.
Man, those Yankees over.
We're all gonna start talking about fluids, nothing else.
I believe I mentioned Louis' post-black podcast.
Oh.
Speaking of hitters, you guys ever see that meat clown?
The meat clown?
Oh, hold on. If you ever were queasy about where your meat comes from, this will not help at all. It's not a video.
I mean, we've all been on the internet, so I think my eyes have already been exposed. Oh, wait, that's not so bad. Oh.
Yeah, so it's a clown made from various meats.
Well, that's kind of funny.
How do you think like that? They just like coat the meat?
No, I think what it is they like cut like holes out and they fill it with different types of meat that are darker.
Oh.
But it could be what you said. I was kind of thinking.
So that's where that comes from. Like I've seen that here and there, but I never checked to see where like if that was a thing or something.
Oh yeah, wait, look, yeah, there's still that you can slice it and you can still make it as a pattern. So I think what I said was how they did it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different types of meat. So, I don't know.
I think that's cute. That is the coolest thing I've seen. And they did like a little bear version. Oh, it's so cute. Oh man.
It's like something out of like the 2000s, 90s when they were going nuts with all the food.
Dude,
Yeah.
remember Zoo Pals?
Yeah.
Plates?
Yeah, the plates.
Yeah.
And remember the Happy Hot Dog Man?
What?
So this is like one of those things that you can order off the TV by calling a number.
Yeah.
So what it was like a little plastic device with like blades in it that you would put a hot dog in and you would close it, and like if you like after you it would like cut it up in a way where if you boiled it like it would like form like a little stick figure.
Out of a hot dog?
Yeah, hold on.
They're so tiny.
I'll show you. It like prints a little face on it. We've evolved to talking about food products here.
That's got something to do with animation.
Yeah.
Find a correlation sometimes.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like product branding. Like, I swear, like Shrek definitely did like a swamp flavored ketchup or something.
Oh, yeah.
Flavored everything.
Yeah.
You would not pay me enough.
Oh, well, that's adorable. He made like a little squid man out of the hot dog. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the contraption right there. So
Yeah, I remember it. I remember.
it also comes with like stuff that you can put on your ketchup and mustard. There you go. You have like a little ketchup devil.
That mascot is not cute, but
This is that.
Those are like everywhere.
Oh wait, speaking of funny mascots, hold on.
So for context about the hot dog, there's like various hot dog stands that apparently have this guy who puts a ketchup on his forehead. It's like, I feel like they're everywhere.
Hold on. Where is it? Where is he? I swear, I saw like there's like a picture where like some guy just standing on a roadside wearing a red Sonic outfit.
that wasn't Elmo.
Huh?
So that wasn't Elmo.
No, it was definitely Sonic. Like it looked like this.
So for context, we're looking up bootleg Sonic mascot, the red one.
Oh, so you mentioned food stands earlier, right? Hold on. So we're taking you down to South America or Central America. Because Dragon Ball Z is like huge. Like, pick up what I'm saying over there.
Let's see.
Is there waveforms happening when I'm talking?
Yeah.
Oh, that's shocking. So Dragon Ball Z is very popular in Central and South America. To the point where like you'll come across like taco stands with like Goku on them.
Like I see down at the bottom there's like the Oni cartoon version of Goku, and he's just got a sombrero and some tacos on it.
Here's just Goku eating tacos and there's Shenron on the menu. So like the reason Dragon Ball is like so popular in Central and South America is because like back in the 80s, it was like cheaper to like import Japanese cartoons than it was for American. So like it led to like a huge influx of like anime coming to that region. And the most popular one was like Dragon Ball Z. And I heard that it's so popular down there that they have like government sanctioned viewings of new episodes. Like they would like book stadiums with like projecting, and they'd like show like Dragon Ball Super on like the Jumbotron and stuff. It actually led to like a legal battle between Toei and insane. Imagine going to like M&T Bank Stadium to watch the new episode of Dragon Ball.
That'd be nice. I would enjoy that. You know, just be with a big group. That'd be a great experience. Okay. So, what was the most impressive thing about early 3D animation?
Well, honestly, the fact that they were able to do it at all is just off the back. And I was always impressed with the original Tron, not just for its computer effects, but just its effects. Period. The way they would combine not just 2D animation, but also not 3D animation, but 2D animation as well, and how they did the backlighting. But we're talking about 3D here, so yeah, I'm surprised they were able to make it look as good as they did back then. The computers they had, especially the light cycle scene and the master control program. I haven't shown you guys that, so. If you played Kingdom Hearts 2, he's the guy you fight at the end of the Tron world.
Oh.
That's that like spinning red guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want more information on 3D animation in computers at the time, Disney put out a documentary back around the time the first Tron movie came out called "Computers Are People Too."
Oh.
So that talks just about computers in general and their place in the art world. And so check it out. It's definitely an interesting watch. speaking of which, so on the topic of AI, are any of you two familiar with the Harry Gold show?
I feel like I heard that somewhere. Harry Gold Show.
He's a British YouTuber, and he like does his videos in black and white, and he's like his popular videos is when he like draws like Nickelodeon characters in different styles and whatnot.
Oh. Yeah. This wasn't on like Nickelodeon or something like that?
No, this is a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
So he's famous for like, because a while ago Nickelodeon did a social media post where they did drawings of different Nickelodeon characters, different Nickelodeon art styles, and it wasn't well received. So Harry Gold took it upon himself to redraw them as he saw fit, and it yielded better results, like way better results. And recently he did a video where he challenged AI. So how it would work is he would take a prompt and he would have the AI draw it, but he would also like interpret it himself. Like he asked the AI to draw a new Pokemon, like a toaster Pokemon, for example, and he was able to like do a better job, in my opinion, than the AI. And I'll show you. I'm not going to show you like video of it. I'll just show you like a couple of screenshots of it. This is where the dead air comes in, folks.
Like, I want to bring up that, what was that movie? I think you told me about the one where, there was a character made out of glass.
Oh yeah, like the stained glass knight.
Stained glass knight.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so
I thought that was the coolest thing.
So for those who don't know, there's a 1985 movie, I think it came out at the time, called Young Sherlock Holmes, and there's a scene. Now, this movie is known for having the first computer animated character in the form of a stained glass knight. I believe that was also animated by Pixar too. So I might be wrong on that, but I don't know. So local thing. If you're a legislator, here are 4 with studio features. You got it. Ignore the ad. So once again, it's the Harry Gold Show. I highly recommend checking them out. So I'm going to fast forward to the Pokemon. Okay, so I think he drew like multiple concepts here. So this is the first one.
Oh, this is what he drew?
Yeah, this is what he drew.
Definitely looks like he could be in Pokemon.
Oh yeah, like if there's one thing Gold is good at is like copying different art styles. So once again, this is what he drew. And then here's what AI spits out.
Oh, I think it looks alright. Oh, wait. It's got the bread wrong.
Doesn't really look like the. Did he say in the search bar make it look like a Pokemon style?
Yeah, you did put it up there in the prompt to make it look like a Pokemon art style.
Here's the prompt. So toaster Pokemon in the Pokemon art style. So
on the Pokemon art style.
And also another limitation that he brings up in this video with AI is that if it hasn't heard of anything, it can't really do it. So he tried typing in a picture of cat dog. Do you remember the
the Nickelodeon?
Yeah, the Nickelodeon show. So apparently this particular AI has no idea what that is. So it keeps like showing like weird cat dog hybrids. So yeah. I mean, so that's like interesting.
Yeah.
So that means we still have like some hope left. Yeah.
Sora. Not yet. I mean, we.
No, I've seen Sora. But the problem with that is like, and once again, this video goes into better detail because he does bring up Sora. Is that like, if the guy texting the prompt has a specific vision and the computer can't like spit it out exactly the way he wants it, that's like a major issue. And also there's the issue of consistency, where like if there's one thing my computer science teacher taught me in high school, is that you have to be really specific when it comes to computers and the model that she taught me was if you told a computer to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and eat it, you'd have to walk through you would have to tell it to go to the cupboard and tell it to open the cupboard and tell it to reach for the jam and bring it out, twist it open, lift the lid up, place it down, place the jar down, open the drawer or the silverware, grab the knife, pull the knife out. You get it.
Mm-hmm. So once you tell it that, though, once you go to that, then other people can ask it to do it as well, and then they won't have to give you those instructions because they already know because they got it from the original instructions. That's how it evolved. That's how it went from looking pretty horrible last year to ending up with Sora.
Yeah, you can look up the development of robots walking from there's a whole year time, 10 to 20 year video that pretty much you can see the sequence when it just started from its humble beginnings and now it's doing flips over the years.
Well, and once again, there's stuff I'm missing. I recommend just watching the whole video when you have the time. I'll put the video in the Discord. But yeah. So have we exhausted all of our topics?
I mean, there's a few, but we don't have to go through them all.
Right back. I'm gonna go get it.
Sure. How do you think early 3D animation has influenced the way we make and consume media today? The vaporwave aesthetic?
That's the vaporwave aesthetic.
Vapo.
So, say it has caused us to be sometimes a tad bit more picky.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we expect, usually every animated movie when they, CGI animated. I don't know of any 2D animated movie released by a big studio nowadays. They're all either, cartoons or TV shows. So it's kind of caused 2D animations to be a bit, die out a tad bit. So,
I mean, definitely in the Western culture has just been more in favor of 3D animation. Even SpongeBob, went from 2D and made their own new series, Camp Coral. I don't know if they're still making episodes for it. I know they have at least one season finished, but they're at least still making the effort to make regular 2D animated SpongeBob episodes.
Yeah. With all cartoons and kid shows, they're still willing to make 2D animated with 2D cartoon sort of style. They're still into that, which it's still good to see. So it's good to know that people aren't completely abandoning 2D in every medium, but I guess mainly film, full length features. I'm trying to think of a movie that came out after 2020. That was 2D animated, that was a feature film.
I can't remember, but I know besides anime, there was the My Little Pony movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I watched it. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I'm not super into My Little Pony, but at least this would have had a higher budget. So.
It was a movie based off of TV.
Yeah. Yeah, the 2D one, that was the one that started the whole revolution of dudes getting into My Little Pony. That's the show that started the whole trend thing. So what else? I mean, just anime in general. They always continue still making 2D animations.
Boy Inherent, this was released last year. It's still very similar to the animation. 10 years ago. And Serial Awakening.
What did I miss?
These notes? But no, so we were talking about how 3D animation has affected with consuming media today.
I mean, mean, 3D animation is like the dominant animation style currently. Not much to it.
So it's then it continues to be more dominant the more it was created. Again, I guess I can understand to an extent as to why, but I guess I don't think that automatically should cause us to stray away from that when making stuff. I think that people should still value. I think the last Disney film that was made in 2D might have been
Princess and the Frog?
2009.
There's also the Winnie the Pooh movie.
Oh.
Was that 2013?
Hold on, 2014.
I know it's in like the mid 10s.
I think maybe like before.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah. I think that was their last like hurrah. Oh, 2011. I think Princess and the Frog was 2009. I think like 2009 in general was like considered like like one of the best years in like. Hold on. Sorry, I got something in my throat.
Doritos.
Don't die.
All right. So yeah, in general, like 2009 is considered like one of the best years of animation period. Because we had Princess and the Frog. I think Wall-E also came out around that time.
That was a year.
Okay.
That was an Up.
Okay, Up. I think 4 mine already. What else? There's more. Hold on. So there was 9. Planet 51. Cloudy with Chance of Meatballs? I thought they came out later.
No, yeah, that was 2009, yeah.
Monsters vs. Aliens, 4 line as pointed out before.
Planet 51.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh.
You don't like Fantastic Mr. Fox?
I said I forgot about that. I forgot to mention that.
Oh,
That's one of his greatest films.
Yeah, Wes Anderson. Astro Boy. You guys remember Astro Boy?
Yeah. They made I know they made a 3D movie of it.
Yeah. I was talking about specifically that. Do you remember the Astro Boy movie?
Yeah. It was okay, not super great.
What else did they do?
I don't mind.
Oh, Red Line.
Yeah.
Red Line came out in 2009.
Oh man, that movie takes me back. Good film.
The Dolphin?
Dolphin?
It was like a straight to DVD movie.
I never heard of it.
Princess and the Frog, as I mentioned before. And yeah, I think that's it in terms of the mainstream stuff. I think everything else is either obscure or TV.
Alright. Okay, do you think any early 3D animation still holds up today?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they put it out on 4K.
Well, it depends on like.
I mean,
I seriously.
of course.
I mean, I seriously doubt that one face animation from like the 70s today.
Yeah. Unless it was like a horror.
Or like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah. It was like in a horror aspect and you get scared. But if you're trying to convince people that like, oh, this is normal to look at and you shouldn't be uneasy by looking at this, then obviously that's not gonna hold up. Like when I look at the Toy Story and some of the original Toy Story, like they all kind of look like all the kids at Andy's birthday party.
They were all Andy.
They were all Andy, yeah.
That's the funny thing.
Andy with like dyed hair.
Yes.
It's just Andy.
It's just funny that we never noticed
Sid
until like
is Andy with a buzz cut.
Yeah. Or just Andy with like a
black shirt
or a tag of a bigger jaw from braces, I think. But and a dog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that dog. Yeah,
dog
that
was
dog.
kind of weird.
It's weird because they took like animation studies of like dogs like running, but like yeah.
But I think that's something that would not hold up today. But then when I think of other films like Monsters Incorporated, I think that does still hold up.
The Jimmy Neutron movie.
No, you mean Monsters Inc. or
Monsters Incorporated?
Yeah. Oh. That's what the Inc. part is.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
Well, I'm just so used to just hearing Monsters Inc. I didn't know that there was more to that. It's Monsters Incorporated. Okay.
That's what it means.
Okay.
But do you think I think the Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, the movie, holds up.
Oh yeah.
Is that
It was the one with the aliens.
the one where their parents get sent away?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I vaguely remember that. I remember more the TV show than that film, but I would say Jimmy Neutron still kind of holds up today.
Hey Pops, does this thing still work? Sure does. I just oiled it. Beautiful. And plays Hall & Oates.
That's another. Jimmy Neutron's dead. That goes back to the to the iconic 3D character.
You're out of touch. I'm out of touch.
Sat on a banana. Changed my life.
Once I was 7 years old, I sat on a banana. And that changed my life.
So, yeah, I think that some of the stuff like Monsters Inc. or Toy Story 2 or Ratatouille definitely still holds up today. And a tad bit of The Incredibles.
I can kind of see The Incredibles. Just, it really depends on the character.
The side characters were a tad bit like, robotic.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, The Incredibles 2, outside it wasn't really a fan of the side characters' facial structure.
I mean, and there's other shows like Miraculous Ladybug where like if you notice all the like non-main characters have like weird globs instead of hair on their heads.
It's like a helmet.
Like, if you guys ever watched like the Donkey Kong show?
Oh my God! I know what you're talking about, but what first came to mind when you said that was the Game Boy commercial. Okay, so on a completely unrelated note, you guys think of the whole Toy Story Glasgow fiasco?
Glasgow?
This is like the fifth time.
Wait, Glasgow in England?
Scotland.
Wait, are you talking about Willy Wonka?
Yeah.
Why'd you say Toy Story?
Oh, did I say Toy Story?
Yeah, you said Toy Story.
Oh shit! I meant to say Willy Wonka.
Yeah, you meant you know the Willy Wonka?
I've kind of seen pictures of it on Facebook where it's like a cheap version of Willy Wonka or something. So what's the story on that?
So this one-man company set up an attraction which like come for $40 admission. Come see Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory and the Oompa Loompas. And like he promised like something on par with like a Gene Wilder movie. But but when they got there, I think Moist Critical put it best. It was like the SpongeBob episode, with Krabby Land. Like it was just an empty warehouse with like a bunch of mini golf decorations scattered about. And have you seen the Oompa Loompa girl?
The girl with the blue hair? No, I mean
if you look up just look up Wonka Experience Oompa Loompa. Actually, just Wonka Experience, she'll pop up. It's like the most famous picture because
the most famous picture is the unknown.
Oh yeah, the unknown.
The unknown.
So the unknown was like a character. So his character was an evil chocolate maker that lived within the walls of the factory. Also, did I mention the entire thing was AI generated?
Yeah. Well, you didn't mention it, but yeah, I knew.
So the guy that came up with the concept of he had the whole all the advertisements were AI generated, and the script for all the characters and what they would do was AI generated as well, as mentioned by the guy that played Willy Wonka.
And they were served for like treats for these one jelly bean.
Yeah,
and a cup of lemonade.
one jelly bean and a shot of lemonade.
And the kids started crying that the parents called the police because they were so pissed off.
Yeah, I'd be pissed off too.
Because they would call the police like out in the spot because they wanted a refund. It was so bad.
Friggin' Oompa Loompa running meth labs.
Yeah, it was like pathetic. It's like walking, because it was just walking into a giant empty warehouse with some tiny little, furniture scattered about. It was pretty.
Wait, so this, in case I sound like an idiot earlier, is Glasgow in Scotland or England? No, I can't remember. I remember seeing Scotland, so. Yeah, it's in Scotland. Okay.
The UK.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned the whole Krabby Land thing, because somebody did make like a little video. I just inserted the SpongeBob characters.
Yeah. I saw.
Where am I?
Yeah, I saw it. I don't know what was he thinking? Did he honestly think that would work, or
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, like,
drank too much last night with his friends and just like came up with some dumb shit.
Some things that he has presented looks all right. He's got like little rainbow decorations.
I guess he
here
thought.
and there.
Did you say Rambo?
No, rainbow.
Oh.
Like for the entrance, he's got a few decorations here and there. There's some effort that was put into it, but I don't know what his budget was, but maybe people felt like there should be more because, like, you see the film and you feel like every bit everywhere should be
covered. If you're charging me $40 per person, you better give me something worthwhile.
Yeah. I think he thought that he knew that it wasn't gonna like be taken well, but he thought that he could get away with it and not be having to be forced to refund.
Freaking jelly beans?
I don't know. Like I once went to the Gaylord Hotel during like when they were doing the Frozen ice show, kind of like pretty much they had like giant sculptures of Peanuts characters in the ice area. It's like $40 to go in. It's not a big area, but it's all like at the Gaylord Hotel during like the winter time. They would it's near Washington, on like the Washington near like the border of like before you hit Virginia. Yeah. So so they would have these giant ice carvings, and there's like this ice slide that's there. But I've seen like other videos where the ice slide is like huge, but they kind of cut down. It's like not even like as tall as a children's slide. It's like, kind of disappointing, and all that for like $40. And it's like you can walk through it within like 15 minutes. Although it's like there's a lot to look at, but not exactly a lot. But I don't think it's worth $40. But I can understand that it's yeah. I mean, there were the sculptures as well of the other sculptures. Yeah, but it wasn't that big.
Oh,
it's like a little bit smaller than that. Like
it doesn't look that big to me at all.
Yeah, it's not a long slide. You can go down and you can finish in like 3 seconds or something. It's very quick, but just these ice sculptures they had of the Peanuts characters were huge, like 3 times your size. But it's not a big area.
Statues look good?
Yeah. I mean, like they look good, but maybe not $40 because it's not a big area. You're in like these big tents that cold air is always coming in. So.
All right. Well, my time is starting to run out.
Yeah.
And I'm the host, so we're gonna have to wrap this show up.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. So. Oh yeah, software recommendations for people who want to get into animation. There's free software like Blender. Blender's always free, highly recommended. It's slowly becoming the standard now, so definitely check that out. So, thanks to our listeners. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we promise better audio quality next time.
Yes.
All right, and that's